Hey guys, welcome to my first ever video. So I've been seeing this trend here on YouTube, and I know I'm a little late to it, but I am totally in love with all of the videos I've seen on this trend already. And it's also right up my alley. I love designing characters, and I am probably the most indecisive person on the planet. So RNG is kind of perfect for me. But if you guys haven't seen it before, for this trend, what you do is you go to this website, and I will leave a link in the description below so you guys can check it out if you haven't already. And you hit this randomize button. That is kind of a big clan. So as you can see, this will give you a completely random clan, where you can see their names, you can see their roles in the clan, and it gives you like a nice, short, like little description of them. Um, and then basically your goal is to just draw them. So this is Sorrel Clan, the one I'll actually be drawing today. In this video, I'm only going to be including the leader, deputy, and medicine cat. Now, before we get any further into the video, I do want to put a bit of a disclaimer out here and just say that I'm not the most familiar with real life cat genetics. Like, yes, I know what a tabby cat is, but honestly, that's about it. So please take these designs with a massive grain of salt. I really just followed them very loosely and went more with like colors and patterns I felt looked good. So yes, please do not come for me if these designs like completely miss the mark. So we're going to start off with Sorrow Clan's leader, Rookstar. So she's described as a black classic tabby she cat with short fur and green eyes. Now, the one thing the website doesn't give is a personality. So I did end up using Fantasy Name Generator's personality randomizer to give me one positive and one negative trait because, like I mentioned earlier, I am super indecisive. I need a little push to get me started with these guys. For Rookstar, I rolled Calm and Vain, which are definitely interesting together, but I could totally see a leader rocking that combo. I'm not really sure how well those traits managed to come out in the end, but it is what it is. So, Rookstar's description wasn't what I would call totally unique, and I did struggle with giving her a design, but I have a little secret to tell you guys. I technically made her first and last. So this Rookstar is actually a revamp and was made after the other two in this video. Because the first Rookstar I completely forgot to record until I was in the middle of coloring her in. And to be honest, I wasn't totally in love with the pixely sort of style I was going for. Plus, it took so long to do. So I decided in the end to just scrap it and start over. But you'll see her old design pop up here and there because I kind of color picked from it and used it as a reference. So yes, this Rookstar is technically Rookstar 2.0, but I didn't really change too much of her original design, so also, I have another confession to make, you guys. So, I don't actually know that much about warrior cats. Like, yes, okay. I read one book way back when I was in middle school, but I could not tell you about any of the cats or any of the plots, and I definitely could not tell you about clan structure. So, yeah, just bear with me if I say something that makes you go, what the heck is she talking about? Literally makes no sense. Anyway, back to the design. Uh, so I tried to give Rookstar a bit of her namesake in her design. I went with some deeper cool toned blacks to try and mimic a rook's plumage. I also, of course, had to give her a few feathers to wear in her fur. I figured since she's meant to be vain that she would want to decorate her pelt with something shiny and pretty. The original Rookstar had her feathers like behind her ears, but I don't know. I preferred this kind of placement on her shoulders. I just think it works better. I also gave her a few scars because, I mean, what's a good leader without them? I did notice that a lot of people seem to give their clan leaders like little star-shaped markings on their face or like scars, so I tried to incorporate that into her design with her nose scar. So that's Sorrel Clan's leader, Rookstar. Um, I feel like she's probably kind of a newbie leader. She kind of gives me that vibe, you know. She seems pretty young to me, and she's definitely a bit immature in her status, but I do think in time she'll grow into it. I don't know, maybe after some like inner clan conflict or some like spicy drama. But yeah, so that's Rookstar. Now we're gonna move on to Nettlethroat, our deputy. Alright, now let me just start this one off by saying that Nettlethroat was the first thing I drew today. And it shows. Okay, listen, I was struggling, guys. I was fighting for my life. Thankfully, in the end, I think she ended up being my favorite, at least art-wise. You have to trust the process, guys. So, Nettlethroat is Sorrel Clan's deputy, and she's described as a long-haired blue mackerel tabby she-cat with amber eyes. So, an interesting note is that she's the only long-haired cat in the entirety of the clan. I don't know, maybe there's something behind that. So, for her personality traits, we ended up with dignified and undisciplined. I'm not sure how great being undisciplined is for a deputy, but I can't imagine it's very good, which makes me wonder why the heck she ended up in that role. Personally, I'm thinking that she and Rookstar might be serving up some girl boss girlfriend realness, you know? For her design, I wanted to incorporate not only her deputy role, but also her undisciplined nature. That just screams like reckless bully energy to me. So I felt like Nettlethroat probably ends up with quite a few scars. I originally only had her with a torn ear and some scratches on her front leg, but then it hit me like, OMG, her name is Nettlethroat. Obviously, I have to do something with that. So I gave her a few on her throat. I don't know. It looks sick though. I was also heavily debating giving her some like literal nettle leaves to carry around in her fur. And I do kind of regret not giving them to her like a teensy bit. But I still think she looks pretty cool regardless. So yeah, that's kind of all I really have to say on Nettlethroat's design. Um, so I'm just going to leave you guys with some music. And I'll see you all for the next one.
I woke up to an open door, wrapped up in my lover's arms. I feel it in my weary bones. I'm home, but nothing's ever what it seems. There's darkness in the best of dreams. Scratch the surface and you'll find the scars like tiny stars. Do you wonder like me? How the perfect love could come to spite me? Love, the rose and thorn in my side. Right beauty and the scent of glory. To feel and touch gets a different story. Love, the rose and thorn in my side.
Okay, and it's time for the final cat in this video. Sorrel Clan's medicine cat, Cormorant Nose. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So her description is that she's a short-haired white she-cat with a black and red macro calico tabby tail and ears and amber eyes. Whew, what a mouthful, and honestly way too much information for me to take in. The website gave me tails and ears only, and I said bet. So yeah, she's a bit simple, but I actually think minimalism suits her. So her personality is compassionate and spineless, which, okay, kind of harsh generator. I really like this combo though, and I feel like it could be super interesting to explore for a medicine cat. I mean, compassion makes sense, but I wonder why she might be lacking in courage. Does it maybe have something to do with Nettlethroat being kind of a bully? So the generator said white, but honestly, I was kind of feeling more of like a cream base for her. I just thought it would be a little more pleasing and cozy and fit her sort of soft aesthetic better. For the macro markings, I just did some super simple random stripes. I mean, I'm all for making complex as heck designs, but I don't know, I was just kind of vibing with these. Initially, I really wanted to give her, I don't know if there's a name for it. If there is, please definitely let me know. But like a split nose. So when I was looking at references, there were a few cats with like black and pink on their nose, and I thought it was super cute. But I'm actually really happy I decided to stick with a solid peachy color instead for her. And then, of course, I had to give her a bunch of flowers around her neck because I, again, have seen a lot of people, like, I don't know if this is just like a fandom thing or if it actually happens in the books, but I've seen a lot of people give their medicine cats like herbs and flowers and all that kind of stuff, like in their fur, which is such a super cool idea. I absolutely love that. So I went online, I did a little bit of research on like herbs and medicines that the cats use in warrior cats, and I thought that chamomile would suit her perfectly. So yeah, she has a bunch of chamomile flowers all over her neck, and I think it is so freaking cute. And here she is, completely finished. I am totally in love with her. She, I don't know, she might be beating out Nettlethroat in my favorites. Yeah, so that's all of them, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching my first ever video. What the heck? This was so much fun. I really hope you all enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. I will definitely be back soon with more of the clan. Definitely let me know who your favorite was from this part. And if you're interested in adopting one of the trio, I'll be leaving a link to where you can buy them down below. Bye guys!